Today I'll learn about a train's cruise control for low speed riding. I glance at some American style graffiti. I do a lot of reversing in a really long train. And I empty some gravel in West London. And I find out a secret that trains don't really run on unicorn wee and fairy dust. They work on diesel. Ew. So today I'm doing Aggregate Industries. It's in West London. So it's Great Western Railway. And basically, cut a long story short, I totally failed the mission after about 40 minutes of work, because I'm not seeing what's going on. You see, I'm not really understanding how the game works and all that, and it's quite brutal the way the game ends. And there it is, game over. 40 minutes wasted. Adios. This is the start of the scenario, because obviously I've done it again, otherwise this video would be a little bit short. Now that's all these things do something in this train, and what you've got to do is set the low speed control. It's basically, I didn't realise at the time, but it's dawned on me since, it's some sort of cruise control. But I think the instructions are a bit odd. What the woman who's, I don't know why it's a woman, who's narrating it, decided she says at some stage put the throttle to notch 1, and if you do that, you just seem to sit there and not move. And also with the Xbox controller, because I'm doing this on Xbox One X, I must have pressed some at some stage while I was maybe, I can't remember if it's this scenario or last one, and I've actually applied the other brake. And that bit there where you're setting the speed control to 3.0, that's 3 miles an hour, it's a bit odd how that works with the controller. You basically you press the button and move the stick, move the left stick, and then you have to come off the button just at the right time to get it to 3. But it's probably not that critical. You could like have 2.8 or maybe 3.2, but I'm not sure. But I spent some time previous on the other scenario, the one that I failed, doing that and learned how to do it. So you see, I've just wound it straight up to full throttle there. But it's working a bit differently because, oh yeah, it was last time I did it, I had the brake applied by accident, and just somehow I had it on full throttle and it wouldn't go above 3 miles an hour. But you'll see me use it. I can't explain where that brake is now because I'm not looking at it, but it's the one that's to the left of that button I was just looking at. But I will use it later because I've discovered that brake that you use, there's like that brake, yeah, that's the brake there. I think that's the right one, yeah, direct brake. You can use that instead of the other one, you know, if you just want to stop. So I think one brake's probably for losing a bit of speed, but that, you see, I've just applied the brake to full, and you can hear the brakes grinding. Now I'm putting it up to full power. You can see the amps have gone quite a way up. And for some reason, when I was playing the other scenario, because I'm just testing out what I'd done in that last one on this part, the one that I failed, I didn't realise the brakes were making all that noise, and I've no idea why, because it's really obvious, especially now I'm watching it back. But I guess when you concentrate and trying to suss out what you got to do next, that's probably why. That'll be my excuse. And again, I've no idea really why I'm liking this game. But this scenario is, I still haven't got a pop filter, by the way, which is why they, you know, because it's Christmas. It's Christmas week, and I'm just not doing Amazon at this time of year. Yeah, I'm kind of enjoying it, and I'm not really sure why. But this scenario is a little bit more interesting because there's more to the more you get into it, the more there is to do as you play, and it's quite long, this one. So I'm not sure if I'm going to be cutting it, because I think some people probably like to actually see what's happening. This part of the mission, I popped it again. This part of the mission, I've got to empty these carriages, or whatever you call them, hoppers. I don't know what they are, but they're full of hundreds of tons of gravel, which I have to empty. And I was thinking, oh, this is going to be a bit of a nightmare, isn't it? Because you're right at front, you haven't reversed, and the train must be 400 yards long. And they, you know, obviously I've been out and looked around all the cameras to see where you've got to go. And I thought, oh, how are you going to do this? How are we going to know where the thing is? Well, you'll see when you get there. Something goes above each car. I think they're called cars, aren't they? Goes above each car and tells you what the percentage of aggregate or gravel or goods, whatever you want to call it, is still in the car. And this must be why you're going at 3 miles an hour or less, is because it's just timing it to. I don't know if these things exist really, but you know, when you see this emptying, I don't know if they do empty from bottom, but then you'd have to have some sort of conveyor system or some great big living hole underneath the track. I mean, that's going to be a lot of gravel, that. You know, one of them trainfuls just to empty it. So I suspect this is something that's like part of the game mechanics. And again, you know, this is a game that makes you sit there for half an hour waiting to do something, and has collectibles in it, and then possibly has a system like this in it, which I just can't see that something like that's real. And that's your task log that I've never seen that. I've seen people having green tick marks all over them, you know, oh, you've done that right, but I've never had that. No tick marks on mine. And the other thing that I've noticed is that if you, when I think I might have got diddled out of some XP points at some stage, because you can see me XP in the right hand corner there going up. But I might be getting confused with something else I've done. It seemed like I only got 300 XPs for doing whatever scenario we're doing, and I can't remember whether it's this one, because I've captured all this off the Xbox, and I'm doing it in the computer editor. So I'm not actually playing it as I'm talking. I'm just sort of talking, you know, as the film's running in front of me that I've made. But I mean, obviously, I did play the game when I was capturing it. Yeah, it's pretty good for that, is Xbox. I'm quite surprised you can record. I think you can record 4K. Not that there's any point in this game because the graphics are so ropey. I can with the memory stick I've got. I don't know if it's memory stick reliant on how much time you get, or if it's a limitation of the Xbox. Because I can do an hour at 4K just in one sitting, and then I can do another hour in 4K. So it's probably something to do with the software on the Xbox, I think. Not the memory stick, because I think I've got a 64 gig memory stick in it. I'm not sure how high they go up to, but presumably you could use an hard disk if it's just formatted right, I suppose. It doesn't have to be a memory stick. Anyway, with this scenario, you can see where they've gone green, where they're empty 0%, and you can see the ones that are yellow going down to that percentage. Well, if you're in the train, you can actually see that. And I found other ways of looking out of your train as well. You can stick your head out of windows left and right, you see, which I'll do later. There's other views, because there's engineers here. I don't know if you caught that, but you could still see the markers over the carriages. That one's still full, and now that the one that's closest to the back of the tractor unit, or the train rather, the engine, that's just been emptied. Now I'm using that thing that's just a brake really, and then I'm putting the other brake on. I don't really know why I'm doing that, because I think it's a bit unnecessary. And then, because I've done the scenario before, I know which way I've got to go. I think this might have been my third attempt to actually get it right, because I did the one where I failed, and I did another one where I couldn't actually work out what I'd got to do. Because that's what I'm saying, there's a lot more to it than what you think, and it's not.
That was great work. You should get that train over to Acton Yard, where it can be prepared before the return trip to the Mendips.
Yeah. Like a bit of praise. So this part of the thing, I'm well versed with how to do this bit. Because last time I'd done it, I overshot where I should have been by quite a long way. And the other thing that I discovered is that you can turn all these markers off, and I can't find a way of turning off that head-up display that's at the right-hand side at the bottom. But all that other stuff, don't know about your XP, but that other stuff that comes up there, like where it says distance and next, and then the stuff that's down the track, your markers, and then the signal markers, you can turn all that off. I think I've actually turned the signal markers off, so the only time you're going to see signal and signal and speed limit. Yeah, because they're the markers, signal and speed limit. Because the next signal's, I think it's yellow, and then the next speed limit is 25 miles an hour, and that's like less than 100 yards now. But you see, I'm speeding already, because even though it's a big train, it still must be really powerful, because it really picked up speed. And I can't remember if this is the run through that I did where I'm going way too fast, and the train actually manages to stop, but I do actually put it in reverse, as well as having both sets of brakes going. Now I'm not sure how effective. See, I've just overshot there. It's just now that marker's 25-30 yards behind us, and I've just realised, because I saw the blue marker go behind us, or behind the train, so I'm hitting the brakes now. But yeah, I had a bit of a drama. I think it was this. It might be this scenario that I did, but I ended up having both sets of brakes applied, which I've no idea if that actually works any better or not. But I did it anyway, and then I put the reverser in reverse and full throttled it, and all kinds of red numbers came up where the speed was like 200 odd mile an hour and stuff like that, but red. Where it says 0.0 miles an hour now underneath the clock. It did that, so I'm not really sure what were going on. Presumably the wheels were just sort of spinning because I'd lost traction. Probably got a bit hot as well, metal on metal, with all that weight. Yeah, it's a bit long-winded, this game, but like I said, I'm enjoying it, which is unexpected, really. I know I've mentioned it before, the graphics are just not good. Not really. They're really. I've seen them I've seen some. I've looked on YouTube at some guys that play it on PC, and their graphics actually seem to be a lot better. Not particularly the in-cab ones, but the outside ones. The outside views of the trains seem to be a lot better. But I mentioned in that last one I did that some of the button bindings on the Xbox are just. They're obviously for PC. Because one of them is you press and hold one of the buttons that's underneath the Xbox buttons, like the menu or the other one, I can't remember which it is, the one with the 2 little squares on it. I think that goes to, I can't remember what it does because I don't use it much in this game, but you press and hold it and it makes you go to like some photography mode or some sort of screenshot mode, and it tells you that in the game on the Xbox as part of the controls, but when you do it in reality it doesn't do that. So you can get rid of most of the head-up display and the markers, because I'm not on the track now. All you're seeing is the sort of destination marker, you know, where the next place the game wants me to go. That's on the track, because without that I couldn't see another way of playing it. You know, you wouldn't. Ooh, got the horn working again. You wouldn't have any way of knowing where your next stop was unless you really knew the line. But there is a map, so presumably you could navigate with a map, which shouldn't be too hard. You know, I'm playing with the horn quite a lot here, aren't I? I think I'm playing with it because I couldn't work out how it was working, whether you put the stick forward or sideways or blooming diagonal. Because I always in this game I have the tendency, whichever way that the graphic is showing you to move the stick, I tend to want to move it that way, and I don't think it's right. This is the other views that I've never noticed before. All them switches on the bottom underneath them 2 levers do something. I'm not sure about that thing that looks like a radio. I don't know if that actually works, because I haven't tried. But them 4 switches underneath are to do with starting and running and having and you got a fuse box view. And I'm also the speed's building up. You see, I've got it on full throttle, but I'm looking at all this stuff now. And I'm not really paying much attention to what's going on. And that's your head out the window. Ooh, battery on my laptop's running close. I'll have to stop now. The drama. Well, that's that excitement over. I've switched the switch on and I'm running on full mains power now. I find it interesting that fuse box is open, so I'm wondering if there may be some scenarios where you might have to do a bit of maintenance or something like that. I'm surprised they haven't got a toilet on here. You know, they could simulate that, I suppose. But am I being a bit pedantic there, am I, do you think? Yeah. It's a very, that's what I'm trying. I can't sort of quantify why I actually I've enjoyed playing it, and I've never done videos like this before, because I do like to do videos and I like to do a good job of them, but I like them to be sort of visually nice and well edited, you know, because as you do these things, you learn more and more as you're doing them. I mean, if you look back, I can't remember how many videos I've got on my channel. I've got over 150, I think, and there's stuff that I've deleted as well. But I first started just putting clips from Forza Motorsport on, and some, because I basically used YouTube like you would use like a cloud drive. You know, it wasn't really for anyone to watch. I just use it like a cloud drive, and you know, because you can't rely on your hard drives and that, can you? You can't rely on a cloud either. But nobody seems to know how long stuff's going to last on the cloud drive. They don't know how long stuff's going to last on a DVD, do they? Because a lot of these ones that you write yourself, they're not made out of metal, are they? There's some sort of dye that's on it, and the lasers move stuff about, so they don't really know what the lifespan is. You could look at some old photographs and see what happens to dye, especially the more modern, especially from modern colour printers. That you pay all that money for basically sod all. And yeah, see, this is the bit I'm going a little bit fast here. Yeah, you pay all that money for note, and then buy all the printer paper, expensive printer, and then I can't see what the distance is, but You know, because I'm on this little, I've got this little screen in me editing software. Yeah, I think it's dawned on me that I might be going a bit fast there. This is the drama part. Yeah, you need a bit more brake than that, don't you? Oh yeah, it's only 300 yards away to a 15 mile an hour limit. We see that looked a bit wobbly when we went round that. Yeah, you need them brakes, don't you? Go on, try it reverser now. Try it reverser. It's like Casey Jones. Anyone that remembers that? Casey Jones and his Cannonball Express.
I got a handful of cinders in both eyes, Casey.
If you ever watched that episode, you'll know what we're talking about. You see, there's the numbers running up into the red into sort of 300 mile an hour. Ooh, yes. British Rail wishes. But you see, I made it though. I managed to stop. Yeah. Can hear the flux capacitor winding down in the back there. Yeah. I wonder if a rail train had have been able to stop. That's interesting. Wonder how much friction there is on all them wheels. Man, you, there's a lot of wheels, isn't there? So I suppose you've got a lot of wheel touching the track, haven't you? So I'll just kick the desk. I'll get this microphone sorted out eventually. A lot of the reason I'm doing these videos like this is because I got this mic bought for me for Christmas by my wife. It's a Yeti Blue mic, and I'm trying to sort of suss out how to use it, what the best settings is, because it's difficult to know what the best way to use these things. It has a lot of settings on it, and it's got a gain control, all kinds of stuff on it, and you always want to get the optimum performance out of everything. Well, I do. Out of. I'll just let you listen. Yeah, this is where I pretty much gave up on one of other things. I just couldn't work out how to do it, and then I ran through I think I ran through a red signal because I just wasn't paying attention. And even this bit, uncoupling these cars, that took some working out, because it's really sensitive as to where you put that, you know, where you're looking with that red ring round it. That little dot in the middle, it's like, you can imagine if you're on a PC, it's a little mouse pointer. It's kind of like that, but there is another mode you can use. If you click, I think it's left down, it works at a different rate, and it works differently because it doesn't stay centered on screen. It works a little bit more like a mouse. I'll have to try using my mouse. I know I said that last time, but I don't know how many of these. You see, I've got a bit more confidence now. Look at that full throttle, vroom. That's moving, isn't it, though? For all that big train, I've still got all them carriages. Oh no, I've not got them carriages on now, have I? That probably explains why it's moving so fast. Yeah, I just unhooked them, didn't I? See, sometimes it's good to think before you start talking. Yeah, this is the bit. I actually learned there were more to this game than this. Well, you'll see if you can stand to watch it. That is, because I know it's quite riveting. Mind you, I've watched people doing these Let's Plays. I'll be honest with you. I've sat watching guys playing Farming Simulator and a couple of other games. I can't remember what they were. But a little bit, maybe. Yeah, maybe I didn't watch a train simulator one. I can't remember what it was. It might have just been farm sim games, but it could have been a different one like Rail Farm or Pure Farming or something like that, rather than the sort of industry standard farm simulator. See, I'm sussing this out now. But I'm thinking, I'm going a bit fast there. And then I put that brake on, and I put the other brake on. I'll have to test that actually. Man, no, I'm not. I'm not going to test it. What am I thinking? I'm not going to test it. I was going to do, like I say, as a test and think, but I'm not. I'm just not. I don't think I'm going to do it. No, I'm definitely not. It'd be a waste of time. Or am I going to do it? I don't know. I might do. Because it's the sort of person I am, unfortunately. Now I've said it, I've got to know. See, I'm having to edge it forward now because I missed the mark by a couple of yards. Well, 4 or 5 yards actually. So the game wants you on the mark, doesn't it? Because I think I'd actually stopped. Now that's that break. Yeah, objective complete. Yeah, I was... I don't know if you picked up what's... Ooh, I popped the mic then, sorry. I don't know if you picked up what's going on, but I've got to refuel this train. And like I said earlier, you know, don't tell anybody, but it uses diesel, not fairy dust and unicorn wee. Obviously don't let any of the eco warriors know that, otherwise they'll never get on a train again because they're supposed to be so green, aren't they? Unfortunately in physics you don't get anything for nothing, do you? You've always got an energy cost. I mean, where things are going, people where I live are actually, when I were a kid, they actually made a Clean Air Act because people were dying of smog poisoning, were getting asthma and all kinds of horrible things wrong with them, and bronchitis and TB. I know TB's different because that's a disease. But loads of kids that I went at school with were forever wheezing with blooming asthma and things like that. We were quite a sickly lot. And then they brought this Clean Air Act out. I mean, when you got fog then, it was like biblical fog. You could literally sometimes not see, not be able to see across a road. You know, it was that bad. And I don't mean a motorway. I'm on about a normal road. And they brought this Clean Air Act in, and everyone went on to gas fires and things like that. And now what we're getting? You're going into a shop and you're buying. Everyone's getting log burners and that because electricity's got so ridiculously priced. I'm starting to rant, aren't I? I'm starting to rant at the most inopportune moment. Basically, we're going back to burning loads of stuff like wood and coal because electricity and gas have got that bloody expensive. Because it didn't used to be an issue. You could leave your lights on. You could run your washing machine. A lot of the water heaters were what we call immersion heaters, if you're American. Because I know a lot of Americans watch my stuff. It's just an electric water heater with an element in it, which eventually goes bad. The elements always go bad and end up nearly blowing your the system up. Because they always seem to fail while they're switched on, and they stay on, they don't switch off, you know, so the water boils in the system and it can be a bit of a drama. Certainly get you out of bed quick with the amount of banging. It sounds like someone's trying to destroy your roof. Anyway, back to the game. I've got my head out of the window there, swiveling it round, and notice how that the lamppost didn't take my head off, which is probably for the best. But you have to keep an eye out. You see, if you look there, it says distance 418, 416, and then it's a red. I think because the game knows which way I'm going, because that was decreasing. So I'm heading towards a red stop sign there, and that's where I failed the mission last time. Because I'm thinking this is still being dumbed down to my level. You see, or it was last time. I've now realised you've now got to... Oh, sorry if I hit the mic. You've got to jump through hoops now to actually... Because I've got to move two or three tracks over to the left and get to that refueling station with this engine. And I'm thinking, oh, why ain't it doing it? Why ain't it doing it? You know, I'll go backwards and forwards, and then it dawns on me. I've got to do the points myself. So I'm going in a minute or two. I'm going to suss all that. Oh, I think I've probably sussed it out already, but last time I played it I didn't. Yeah, why am I... See, I'm going forward again now, so I'm not sure that I have sussed it out. No, I haven't sussed it out, have I? Because I'm going forward to see if there's some way I can run over there and do it. Shall I cut it? Is that going to be boring to watch me running about, not achieving anything? Oh no, I'll leave it. It's me just being an idiot because I've not realised what's going on. So I've got to move this train, but I don't know it at this stage. I've got to move this train three tracks over, haven't I, to get to that refuelling station over there. I've just hit the brakes, haven't I? There's a way you can use the brakes with the Xbox controller. You use the left trigger, and I think you use left bumper to have less brake on it. And it's same with the throttle. The throttle control is right trigger and right bumper for plus and minus. See, look, I'm sussing it out now. I'm learning. Now I've got to sort of go to how far back. I'm trying to wonder now how that you can hear the gravel under my feet, can't you? I'm now trying to work out which way is that train going to go if I do that. Yeah, that's wrong, isn't it, Dirk? That's better, because now it's going to go straight towards that. Yeah, you see. Got there in the end. Because I don't want that one, do I? Because the marker's over there. Oh yeah, I think yeah. Had second thoughts, hadn't you? Because you now don't know how far back you've got to go. But I like that in a game though, I suppose, really, because it just had a bit more interest to it. At least they've tried with sound effects on this. I just wish that the image quality on the graphics of the train and the surroundings, I mean, if you're looking, like I've said before, I keep saying this, if you're looking at this on a phone, it looks just fine. It looks good. And even on my tablet, I've looked, and I've got like a 10-inch Samsung tablet, and it's one of them that's got like the widescreen mode on because it's for looking, and you know, it's nice for watching films and stuff on. And it's 1080, and it looks fine on that. But I've got a 40-inch Samsung monitor, and if you play most games that you play, look absolutely fantastic on it. It's very good. It's a very good monitor. It's even got like a console mode and that lot, and it's 4K as well. I say it's a monitor. It's a 40-inch TV. It's 4K UH ultra high definition. You know, with the high dynamic range and all that lot. So you know, at the moment it's like top notch. Like it came out like in May 2018. So it's the actual design of it's less than a year old. 40-inch, which is about the minimum size I could get. I would have wanted a smaller one because I sit with it right in my face. Because I'm used to using computers. I like it right in my face. The monitor that I'm using for anything, if I'm on a computer or a console. And up until, yeah, I've sussed out which way to go now. Up until a few years ago, on that last Xbox, I used a computer monitor. I got the special cable to use a computer monitor rather than the TV, because you just got a bit better image quality, and I was so used to using computer monitors. That's what I wanted to use, because I used to be a PC player, you see, back in the day, as they say. And anyway, it's just how I like it. I'd never watched television like that. So I don't really know why I play games like that, but I don't sit on a settee. I sit on like an office chair. But then again, I've played a lot of simulations, you know, where you need a flight stick or a wheel and pedals, and you need a desk, you see, and you can't have like a settee or like a lazy boy or like that. Well, I suppose you could, but you need an extremely low desk, wouldn't you? And it'd have to be very, very wide as well to get over a settee and be useful to you. Now, scratch that, it's a bad idea. You're better off just having an office chair or something. Oh, you see, there it goes. I've changed the tracks, and I've got a bit fast as well. See, it tells you when you're in amber and red, but you don't seem to get punished for speed limits in this. I don't think I've been minused out. Not yet, anyway. I mean, minused XP'd or all like that, or penalised in any way. I obviously got penalised by failing the scenario without any warning when I went through the red signal. I'd like to see a little bit more development on this. I'd certainly like to see the advanced time feature implemented. That'd really help, because we're actually here to play games, aren't we? Not pretend. It's okay pretending to be a train driver or a racing car driver, but you don't take meal breaks and stuff, do you? You know, in the game. I'm explaining that badly. I mean, you don't feel the need to experience a game that bad, or to such a realistic level that you will actually be in the game and spend a whole night sleeping, you know, in real time. Like if you did that in Grand Theft Auto, or some of these adventure games, you know, open world adventure games, how boring would that be? You've got to wait while the guy's in bed, because it's a simulated life you're playing. You wait while the guy's in bed and okay, right, that's it. I can't play, and I hope he doesn't sleep in. And I hope his alarm clock goes off, because I can't wait to play this again. You know, buzz, buzz, buzz in the morning. Oh, are you going to get out of bed and get a wash and do your teeth now? Have all that in the game. Mind you, actually, think about Grand Theft Auto. I've gone off topic, I know. Grand Theft Auto did get a bit like that, didn't it? At one stage, it was like, yeah, go have something to eat. Oh, no, you've got fat. Now go to gym. Oh, hang on, your mate's ringing you up. Now your girlfriend's ringing you up. You got to see her. Let's go play bowling with your mate. No, go take your girlfriend out. Yeah. It doesn't work, does it? It's nice novelty. It's a nice bit of novelty, but it becomes a bit of a grind, which I've found with the last Red Dead Redemption. You know, the grinding, that I just do not like that game. I mean, people think it's marvellous, and that's up to them. I just am very, very disappointed by it. I think it's probably one of the most boring games I've ever played, and I don't think I'll be going back to it. I never finished it. I think some of the graphics are amazing. Some of the gun effects are quite horrific. Yeah, some of the bullet wounds look horrible, look like real. But the gunplay in it, and the way that the people move in it, or the character, it's really, really sluggish. I remember the original Red Dead Redemption and Grand Theft Auto was a bit of a culprit. You can sometimes have difficulty getting through a door, you know, because your character has to do this sort of full turn animation when you backtrack a little bit. Anyway, I've gone off topic too much. Back to the train. Water pipes or something there. Have I done it right this time? I'm actually not sure. Because I'll get there eventually, I'm sure. Because I know that I do, you know, it's not really a spoiler. I'm going to complete the mission. So any tension that there was has now been dispelled. The mission will be completed. It's just a matter of how long it takes. Yeah, I gotta check this switch now. And that's obviously in the right way. You can see which way the train's gonna go. I don't know if anyone ever thinks about how, if you would have had this game 20 years ago or 30 years ago, how amazing would it be? And how amazing would stuff like some of these car simulating games and airplane simulating games that we've got, and just games in general, like the Elite Dangerous. I played that quite a lot, and I remember playing the original. I didn't have the original Elite on the BBC Micro, but I had the one that was on the Commodore 64, and I played the hell out of that game. I played it to death, and it was on cassette, and I had loads of different saves on cassette, and I think it is really the first open world game that we'd ever played. And the thing about the BBC one, I wish I'd have had one of them really, because it had these joysticks and they had proportional control, because they had potentiometers, not switches. All the other things like the Commodore 64, which had joystick ports on it. Now the Spectrum, which was my first computer, you had to buy something extra to plug into an interface to plug a joystick into it. And I think the joysticks were called Kingston something or others. And there were these blue horrific things with great big buttons on it and a stick, but they were all micro switches. Some of them had leaf switches on, but if you can, you know what it's like when you're playing a game. You think if the more you press it, the faster it's going to move. Obviously, it's not going to do that on the switch. So you'd literally brake. Oh, look at this fuel filler cap. Didn't even know it existed, because I'm going to refuel it. So I'm looking round now, because obviously I wasn't expecting that. I was expecting this to all be automatic, you see. You know, because it shows you the green box, and I thought, you know, with how that aggregate got poured out of all them the train cars, or whatever they're called. I can't even think of what the name of them is, because they're not carriages, are they? Because it's a goods train, this. Americans call it a freight train. Yeah, you've even got to shut the fuel off and put it back on, and then you got to put this nozzle back, and then you got to put the fuel filler cap back on. I mean, there's not many games that'd have you doing this. This is the first.
Now the locomotive is ready to go. Get it hooked back up to the wagons, and that'll be you done for the day.
Yeah, it's me done for the day. Can't wait to have some time off, because this has been heavy going, this one. I think you can get on the other end at train and drive it, but on the other time when I failed, I did try doing that, but everything was set in this side, you know, like the reverse and all that lot. So the cab at the back of the train was slightly different to this cab, and I can't remember what the difference was. But there is one. Something to do with the controls, I think. I'll have to have a look, actually. There's lots of stuff I'll have to do, because now I've got to do a brake test. I've got to try to see if my mouse works with it. And then, obviously, I'll have to get a keyboard to see if that works on Xbox as well. Because that's another thing that's been implemented very grudgingly by Microsoft. They don't seem to want the mouse and keyboard, do they? And they've stuck it in without telling anybody, or without mentioning it very much. Because you've got Mr. Larry Herb doing his This Week on Xbox, when he likes to talk to 15-year-olds. Or talk like he's a 15-year-old. I mean, there's no wrong with bloke, is there? There's no really wrong with him, but the way they just overhype all this crap they keep dumping out, that are excuses for games, and making out that it's like this stuff's great. No, we've seen it all before. It's time for something new, Larry and Microsoft. Am I starting one of my rants again? No. Looks like I'm bunny hopping down here, doesn't it? Like in like a low gravity environment. But I'm actually trying to not fail this, so I've gone on to free camera, and I'm trying to actually see where I've got to go next, because I'm not sure if I've got to go switching any more the track switches, or whether it's all going to be done automatic. Because I don't know if you've really noticed, because I didn't notice. I'm looking here to see if there's any more information. I didn't notice that all the up to now, all the track switching, up to the part where I've been tasked with refueling, up until that point, all the track switches have been set by the computer, haven't they? And this is the only, I've had to get out here and I've done all these switches, so now I'm wondering if I've got to do all that again, because that's quite a long distance to go running, isn't it, down there, a few hundred yards. And that's our train there, or rather our carriages, and what we've got to do now is hook up back to it, and it isn't really, I'm not sure which end you've got to go to, and it's sending me to a waypoint down there that's still 400 odd yards away. So at this point I'm still wondering just what it is I've got to do, and obviously eventually, like I said, I suss it out, and I'm reconning it again now, thinking, well, yeah, is there another way to get in front of it the other side? But then it's the really obvious thing that I haven't thought of is that the waypoint is down there, and the game wants me to go down there. So all I should really have done is drive the train down, just driven the train down there, and the mission would have been over with a lot quicker. But you can see I'm messing about here now. Well, not messing about. I'm not really sure how to do it. I quite like the outside camera as well, because if you on the Xbox controller, if you press Y, you can still control the train or the camera. So you can drive the train up to a point from the outside view, if you so wish. You can even set the reverse of forwards and backwards, but I think that's with the left stick. But I think you have to have the throttle in idle to do that. You know, you have to have the throttle's got to be set to 0, and then you can switch the reverser backwards or forwards or neutral. You can certainly switch the brakes and the throttle on and off as well. See, I'm looking out of that window again now. See, if you watched Casey Jones at any time when you were a kid, if you won't even know what I'm talking about, there was a series probably made in late 1940s or 1950s, and it was old when I was a kid. It was called Casey Jones and his Cannonball Express, and it had quite a catchy theme tune, and his sidekick was a man called Fireman Wally. And it was American, obviously, all best stuff for American, almost at best stuff for American, except for the graffiti, which I find not that good, is it? Banksy's better, isn't he? Banksy goes on your wall or your train, it's suddenly worth millions, mate. Yeah, the thing about this country is we're so desperate. We're so desperate, sort of wannabes, to be like Americans. I mean, there's a lot of good stuff that's American, and they've got great cars, and there's McDonald's, and there's Kentucky Fried Chicken. That's fantastic. It's obviously gone down. That came about when I was a kid, and you just love that stuff. But that was back in the day when going to a Chinese restaurant made you seem like you were James Bond. In fact, going to any restaurant made you seem like you were James Bond, especially where I lived. I can't remember what we're talking about now. I was talking about Americans, wasn't I? Yeah. The weird thing is, I've been on Xbox since I think like 2005 or 6, and every single long-term friend, barring one, that I've ever had on Xbox that I've spent time playing games with, they've all been American. Every single one of them. At the moment, I play World of Tanks with an American guy. And I've got a few other American guys on my friends list. This Xbox is different. I don't seem to play like I used to do on the other Xbox. We get together in great big gangs and we go around dominating in Call of Duty or Chrome Hounds or Forza. Yeah, a lot of us would play Forza all at the same time. And then we'd all play, what was the other one? Operation Flashpoint we'd play. That was quite a good game. Yeah, and we'd all play together. Now, it's weird, you know, you play a game like World of Tanks, all you get is a load of hate messages off people. Occasionally you get some good guys, you know, that they're just there to play, and then you get other ones. They're really acidic little, I almost swore, acidic is the best word from them, venomous little people that just have got, they would never have anything good to say about anybody. And I find it very, very strange that it's gone that way, because I remember playing on the Xbox 360, especially the first couple of years of it, playing things like Rainbow Six, Vegas and that lot, and we'd be wetting ourselves laughing, and you get drunk guys playing, guys high as a kite, and obviously because you near everyone over at Mike's and all that lot, and then no one knew the maps, you were running into an enemy tank and all kinds of just mad things going on, and people were laughing their heads off, and we really enjoyed playing these games. And now it's like, I don't know, people just take it so seriously, and they've sucked all the fun out. It's like lawnmower racing. When lawnmower racing, I've never done any, but it looked like great fun. Like most forms of racing, just looked like good fun. They all started for a bit of a wheeze, didn't they? And then someone got involved and started making rules, and sucked all the life and all the fun out of it. You can bet lawnmower racing is really serious now. I actually don't know anything about lawnmower racing, by the way, but I bet if you check it out, I might have a look on YouTube actually, because there'll be some real tragic cases of people that take it way too seriously with the rules and regulations, because they can't wait to tell you what to do, can they? They just love it. I'm ranting again, aren't I? I'm 50 odd minutes into this video as well. 51 minutes 29 seconds. That's what it says on the on my display here, and I'm still blabbing. I didn't know I was such a talk pot. Do I really talk that much? Must be awful living with me. Nah, not me. It's fantastic living with. What am I thinking? You'd be lucky. In fact, my wife is very lucky. I get all the best stuff. Probably because I'm so good. Funny thing is, I seem to spend a lot of time in this room by myself. Wonder why that is. Yeah, this scenario's about to end, and look at that. I'm all Casey Jones. Look at that, the train's moving, I'm not even in it. Watch this, watch this. Now it bounces, and now I'm thinking, how the hell am I going to get that to stop right where I want it to do? Because we're actually still going backwards there at not a lot, but I've got to couple them back up. So now I'm giving it a bit of throttle. Am I even going forwards or backwards? Yeah, I'm going forwards. Now I'm hitting the brakes. That could have been a bit of a mistake, couldn't it? I don't know why I've released the brakes there. I'm not really, I think I'm not sure if I've actually got stuck, you know, that I've hit the sort of bumper things. I don't know what they're called. They're not buffers, are they, them things? They're like hydraulic pistons by the look of them, or some sort of spring piston. Oh, there you go.
Yeah. Well done. Grab a break in the porter cabins by the car park.
They just love praise. She said well done, and I've never been a train driver ever, and I've managed to achieve greatness. Yeah, I don't know why I'm looking behind me. What I'm expecting the murderer from the other one to be stalking me still. Yeah, this is what I mean. I mean, go to the porter cabins. Them things are porter cabins if you don't realise, you know, if you... I don't know what they call them in America. Or Canada. Probably porter cabins. Yeah, the sound didn't change even though I was on sand then. And there we go. Oh, it must have been the other one. I think if you do these scenarios multiple times, you don't get the XP. That was the point I was trying to make. So if I were to do this again, I don't think I'd get 6,162 XPs. I think I'd probably get, maybe if there's a way of doing better, I'd get the, say if you could do it 6,500, I'd get the difference, but I wouldn't get the 6,500. I'd only get like the 300 or whatever it'd be, the 300 and something that'd be remaining. Anyway, that's it. I've done it, and that's how it ends. And if you've made it this far, thanks. And now I've got some more editing to do, and I've got to check the sound and all that. It's going to be quite long on this because it's 55 minutes now. You don't realise how much time you have to put into doing these videos, and this is a simple one because all I've done is sit here and talk. When you've got loads of editing to do, it takes ages, and I'm not complaining. I do it for fun, and I don't even really expect anyone to be still listening at this stage. And if you are listening at this stage, just leave me a message because I'd be pretty surprised if I get any messages about anyone listening at this stage. But if you are, thanks, and I'll probably do another video like this, so bye bye.